Hello there, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here to be talking about The Fantastic Four: First Steps. Now, this is obviously the newest film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and what makes this film pretty different is that this is the first introduction to Fantastic Four, in our universe, because obviously we've had a bunch of this in the past, and a lot of these films, while I personally love as like a so bad it's good type of film, the 2005 and 2007 one, Rise of the Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four, a lot of people agree, like, as a film, it's not that great. And of course, you had the 2015 one, which was also bad. That one from the 90s, which looks like a college film, also pretty bad. So basically, we've never really had like a actual good Fantastic Four movie. And so a lot of us were hoping that this would be, finally, they did justice to this property and these characters. And the film follows the Fantastic Four, having already been pretty much established for a bit as, heroes of this world, which, as we find out, is not our world, because as you could tell just by looking at how different it is and the aesthetic and the production design and all, it takes place in a different, I guess, multiverse, if you will, a different Earth. Ours is, 616 has been established. Theirs is 828. But I'm pretty sure we'll find out how this ties in to the next Avengers movie and all that lovely stuff. But it follows them, being the heroes of their world, saving, the city and being protectors, while also dealing with, they have, Reed and Sue have a new kid that's coming, so they're going to have to bring a kid into this. What's going to happen? But wait a minute, there's another gigantic threat, Galactus, who wants to, devour worlds, who eats worlds, but they're faced with a dilemma to try to stop him. That's the best way I could describe it without really diving into too much spoilers, but I thought this film was pretty fantastic, if you say it, because when watching it, my hype, I was interested and curious because it did look fantastic, no pun intended, but I don't know, I just wasn't really as enthusiastic as I usually am with these type of films because of how Marvel's been lately, unfortunately. They had some great films, but it feels like they're in a pattern of good to bad where it rotates. How, Thunderbolts I really loved, but then Cap 4 I thought was just average. And so they kind of rotate between good and bad quality, so it's hard to really get excited for everything like how I used to. But this film I feel like overall delivers, and the highlight for me was the production design and the setting of this world. I thought a lot of the costume designs and the feel of like this retro futuristic 60s, it feels like. It's like it's old-timey with the vehicles and, how the camera is and how those old talk shows were and how it does those, multiple shots and it's playing that cheesy type music. It feels like in those magazine covers, like the marketing was for this film is like in the film itself. It feels excellent. It felt like a breath of fresh air. But also you have this futuristic tech, like, they have a flying car and they have, they're doing breakthroughs with like teleporting stuff. And it's just so much stuff that you would think they would try to, like, would be possible today. But how that type of futuristic stuff is meshed in with the old stuff of like the 60s and all that, I just think that was like such a fun experience to watch, and especially watching it in IMAX, which I've seen a lot of people hype up about some shots with Galactus in particular. Seeing just the difference, watching it in IMAX and just seeing the grand scope of how huge he is, and then seeing it on the normal screen, like you have to see it in IMAX if you haven't gotten a chance to see it already, because it really makes the experience that much better. And of course, the score, the Fantastic Four, like, it's excellent. The score was really great. They knew they cooked with that because it was in all the trailers, and I believe it plays in the film like once or twice, so that was such a fun musical beat, and overall I really did enjoy the score. And of course the performances. Now, a lot of people were giving praise and saying like the Galactus actor was like fantastic and all, and he was pretty good, but I felt like he wasn't really in it as much as I was expecting for them to be saying that. But, obviously the film rides or dies on our Fantastic Four, And I thought they were all pretty solid, from Pedro Pascal, who I'm not really that much of a fan of personally. I think he's kind of overrated, and he's been in so much so quickly. But I mean, not to say he hasn't put the work in and all. It's just, I don't know. It's just, if you get a bit too overexposed to someone, you kind of get tired of seeing them on screen, I feel. But I kind of liked his performance here. It was pretty, it wasn't really full of energy per se. It was pretty, like, I wouldn't say stilted or wooden, but he was just so by the books and so, like, focused on the smarts. It didn't really have any of the fun type of personality, or, it just felt like his performance wasn't as good as the 2005 and 7 version. But, he was fine. The Johnny Storm, Joseph Quinn, or who I do remember was from Stranger Things, I thought he was a lot of fun and pretty great. And, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. And, of course, the Thane, who I remember seeing that actor has, been in The Bear and was getting hyped up. So it was pretty great seeing, how they mesh together as characters and how they interact off each other. And, there was some, like, you could tell, because I've been hearing a lot of people say that the film was, like, chopped up in the editing bay, and a lot of the film was cut out because John Malkovich apparently was supposed to be in this film, and his character's not here at all. And it felt like there was some little character moments that were just, like, kind of not really fleshed out, like, with, Ben, kind of like, there's like a scene or two of him not being happy with, being the Thing, and they really, like, should have honed in on that stuff more. But you could just tell, like, even though the film is great for what it is, and you're really excited for, what this could all be going forward and stuff, and how fresh it felt, there's still a lot of stuff that could have made the film even better if there was maybe a bit more time to the runtime, because it just felt like they cut out some stuff. But again, overall, the film had a great production design. Like, the highlight was just the production design, the theme and setting of the film. The performances were pretty solid across the board, and the villain was really great. One could say fantastic. And I really did like the family aspect and them, being together and just working together. I really did appreciate that. But then again, those were my thoughts on the Fantastic Four: First Steps. Again, what y'all think of this film? Please let me know down below. If you want to hit the subscribe button as well to get notified when I upload, that would mean so much to me. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!